and welcome to Mike Nierychlo Online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. Alright, today's episode, I am super stoked to introduce to you a brand new series that I've wanted to do for quite some time. I just honestly haven't had a chance to really concentrate on it. Before I introduce my brand new series to you, make sure, for any of you who missed the last, say, 4 or 5 episodes, check them out. We covered some of the fantastic products being produced right here on Vancouver Island. Really enjoyed going through all of those. All right, brand new series, Wines of Italy. That's right, Wines of Italy. Simple as that. I'm not going to some new wine region no one's ever heard of. Italy, a place that has been making wine forever. That's probably when it dates back to, is sometime forever they've been making wine. And they've been making extremely authentic wine. Now here's why I really want to talk about Italy and explore Italy. There are so many neat things to learn from Italy. First of all, Italy has thousands, literally thousands of random grape varieties that I've never heard of, that you've never heard of, and let alone tasted in a glass of wine. That to me is so interesting. Wines that I'm going to have a really hard time pronouncing, but I'm going to do my best for you. Super excited to explore this region or this part of the world with you. Other things I love about Italy, the wines tend to be extremely approachable, so unintimidating, and super authentic. Italy has this authenticity to it that I absolutely adore. And it tends to be a very value-driven place. So many good value wines coming out of Italy. Oftentimes because they're from places that no one's really ever heard of, so it's extremely hard to market. Another thing that's super cool about Italy, it's oftentimes a place that people purchase wine because they find them fairly cheap. They'll see a wine for $8 to $10 and they're like, well, it's an Italian wine, $8 to $10, they'll buy it. They may not even really know, or you may not even know what you have your hands on. I love stocking my cellar with Italian wine, or stocking my shelf with Italian wine as a go-to, because you can buy literally $8 to $15 wines that have incredible value, so food friendly, great go-to wine of the world. All right, so today's show, I was thinking, where would be an appropriate place to start in Italy? And I thought, why don't we start right at the bottom and work our way all the way up? We just came off a small series on Vancouver Island. Let's start on Sicily, an Italian island. So, Sicily. I obviously have a red wine for you today from Sicily. Next episode, we're going to do a white wine from Sicily. Okay, Sicily. There's 2 grape varieties in this wine. The first is Nero d'Avolo, which, from my understanding, is one of the most important, one of the most grown red grapes in Sicily. They use it for basically everything. They do single varietal Nero d'Avolos, and they do blends with it. They do a lot of different things with it. This is blended with Frappato. Now, what's interesting about this wine, it comes to us from a producer, Planeta. And I chose this wine in particular because it comes from the only certified DOCG region on Sicily. DOCG, what does that mean? Now, the region I'm talking about is Ceresciuolo di Vittoria. That's the region. The 2 grape varieties allowed in the blend in that region are Nero d'Avolo and Frappato. I've tasted Nero d'Avolo. I've never tasted any Frappato, so I'm excited to try this wine. Sorry, back to what DOCG means. If you understand VQA here in Canada, or you understand AOC in France, it's a governing authority that controls and guarantees what is in the bottle of wine. So they have a tasting panel that will taste through wines that are produced and certify it as appropriately called DOCG because of a certain quality level, and they guarantee that the grapes that went into this wine came from that region. They weren't snuck in from any other country or anywhere else. Any other country or anywhere else in the country. So that's what that little pink tag means up there. Now there's different certification. There's DO, DOC, and DOCG. This one's a DOCG, kind of the top regulated one. From Planeta, I think I showed that to you already, 2009. The wine is $27, so not an inexpensive wine, but not over the top. But I have fairly high expectations for it because of the price point. Let's try it out. First thing. Beautiful, beautiful, nice, ruby, kind of rosy red color. I love that. Not over the top. It kind of Looks like that cranberry cocktail you buy in the freezer at any corner store. Not over extracted, it's not black, it's much more red. Okay, beautiful nose. Here's what I mentioned before about Italy, and this wine is showing it off right away. Authenticity. This smells like an Italian wine, and the more Italian wines you drink, the more you'll understand the smell I'm talking about. It's authentic. It's very aromatic, this one as well. It's coming across super juicy. It's got like bright red cherries. It's got this sense of place to it. It smells like, hey, this is where I came from. These are the aromas you're going to smell in the area my grapes were grown. I like that. I think that's super cool. Very juicy. Hints of a savoriness to it too, almost like a charcuterie or like a smoked sausage aroma. And subtle, more kind of rounded fruit aromas too. I'm going to venture to say almost pomegranate or something like that. Interesting smelling wine. I like that a lot. Very approachable. It's very nice smelling. All right. First thing I'm going to say about this wine, 27 bucks. Look for it. It's worth it. You may want to save it for a special occasion because it's a higher price point wine, but you're going to get really good value out of that. That's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm going to get into the palate now. On the palate, right away up front, it has this beautiful juiciness. It's satisfying every part of my mouth. Beautiful juiciness. Those bright red cherries are coming through the middle of my palate. It's got this fullness, a big fullness. It's got a savoriness to it. It's really, really enjoyable. And on the finish, it has a beautiful acidity that's going to cut through any of those thick, heavy Italian pastas or cheeses or what have you they pair with this wine. Great wine. I really enjoy this bottle of wine. Yeah, what more can I say? Seek this one out, Planeta 09, I'll show it to you again, 27 bucks. Worth the purchase, enjoyable. So, we tasted a blend of Nero d'Avolo and Frappato today from Sicily. Super stoked to continue to explore Italy with you, and we'll see all of you on the next episode. And I can't forget to say, wine, depretentiosized.